Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you. Thank you so much for tuning in live or watching this on replay. We truly appreciate you. We are bringing a great tool to you today. And we're starting a new series, actually. And the series is called Reimagining Literacy in the Age of AI, which is kind of a continuation of, I think, all the AI episodes we've done, right, Ricardo?
Correct.
But we are leveraging tools to foster creativity. And the first tool we're starting with this week is Book Creator. And if you've never heard of it before, get ready for your minds to be blown away because it is amazing. And if you've never met us before, my name is Teresa Castro.
And I am Ricardo Recinos.
And we are both Tectoses from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District. But before we begin, we always have to thank our sponsors. They're the reasons why we get to do these trainings with you. We thank our CTA and our HLPTA and also the ILC who helped us get started. So thank you so much for allowing us to do what we love.
Book Creator, huh? Interesting.
It's so exciting. So getting started with Book Creator, and we're not going to talk about it here. We have many slides to go over what it is, but here's just a little snippet of things that you could do inside of Book Creator.
Yeah, if I had to tell you in a couple of words what it is the easiest way to create content in the classroom.
Sold.
I'm sold.
Your check's in the mail. All right. Purpose and objective. We kept it really short today because we have a lot of things to go over. Examine different ways to reimagine literacy in today's digital world, right? There's so many things and so many tools out there now, but how can we help our students show what they know, show us their understanding through these different tools? So that's what we're going to go over today. We're going to explore Book Creator project ideas and features. And hopefully after this, you'll be ready to go and get started in making your own book.
Yeah, as I think about literacy, right, in the age of AI, I think we have to rethink literacy. And I think it's not just about writing and reading anymore, but also we need to understand the impact that AI has on society, specifically in our schools, right? So when we talk about literacy, I think it's very important that we also include AI literacy with our students, right? Because these are tools that they're going to have in their world, in their future, right? And when I mean that, I'm not saying that all of our students are going to become computer science engineers or they're all going to have to know how to build AI. What I mean by that is that all of our students should understand its limitations, its implications, and its ethical considerations when we talk about AI in the classroom, and the reason why we are bringing some of these tools in to our students and to our teachers. And when I say that, I say it because as I think about, the traditional text on paper, right, the way we write, right, I think in the age that we live in now, writing has definitely transcended the limitations of the traditional text that we used to do before, right? And we can't be scared by that. I remember, in the past, our ancestors, right, in Greece, right, at the beginning, they were scared of writing. They thought it was gonna, kill speaking, right? That's the way they told stories. That's the way they communicated, right? And it did not do that, right? So we can't be afraid that AI is going to do that to writing too, right? Again, when we talk about writing, right, visual elements and interactive features are going to enhance the writing experience. And this tool that you are going to talk about today, that's stuff for us. The visual elements and the interactive features are amazing. And let's be honest, we now communicate through multiple layers, right? Multimedia, interactive content. This is what our students do. This is what we do too, right? So I'm really excited about the tool that you're going to introduce today. And, as we talk about academic writing, as we talk about what our students are going to be doing in the classroom, I think we have to kind of switch our way of thinking and look at a holistic approach, okay? We obviously know the significance of academic writing for our students, right? But when we talk about writing, we're talking about communication. And it's not just writing. It's also speaking, it's listening, active listening, it's writing, right? So let's embrace the holistic approach of communication to empower our students and also ourselves with some of these tools that we're going to be seeing today.
So introduction to Book Creator. Let's go. Next slide.
Let's go.
So it's just like Ricardo said, it's a super simple way to make interactive pages. You could use your voice, you could use text, video, images, and so many things that you can do. And it's like we said, it's super easy for teachers and also for students. Students of all ages can use Book Creator. We've seen books created by young elementary students and students all the way in high school actually using it, and adults like us. I made some too, just for fun. to see, and it was
And I know we're gonna share some of the works that our students have done in high school, right? We were thinking about it, right? Is this like too elementary for our students in high school? And our students just flew with it. They were so engaged, they were so into it, and they love the idea of working with this tool. So we're really, really
and
excited
it
about
looked
it.
professionally done. Like it was amazing.
So you'll see that later.
So teachers can create libraries for students. So you have your different libraries, whether they're different libraries in your class or different libraries per period, however you want to have it organized. Great way to share. So get inspired. So many different ideas. You can do digital portfolios, poetry books, step-by-step guides, science reports, learning journals, comics, so many things.
Yeah, but I think you're right, right? The idea that you can use this in so many ways is pretty incredible. Such a simple tool is so powerful.
Right. Ricardo, do we have time to show them this video, or
I
do we
think
want to
it's
just go
a
through the
very
slide?
short period. Do you want me to just play it really quick? It's about a minute long. Yeah,
It's about
I'll
2
play it.
minutes. Okay. Got it.
Simplicity. Inclusivity, that's important.
Okay, so now I'm like, oh, maybe we don't have to show the rest of the slides. Just kidding, we do. So let's continue on with
No,
our.
as I was watching the video, it reinforced every single comment that Miss Ort told me as she was telling me the experiences of her students. Being creative, right?
Ah,
Being inclusive, right? Collaborating. It was just everything that I saw in that video. But go ahead.
yeah. So if you don't know who he's talking about a high school teacher who tried this out and is just so amazed. And if we have time, we'll show you some samples, but we'll see how our time is today. But here are just some samples of how it looks in different grade levels. So this is elementary. They can make different shapes. It's pretty amazing. We're not going to click on the actual books for the sake of time, but we're just going to just share some ideas. So go to the next one. Continue with elementary. So here's an example of a book right here. And you can see those are actual videos right there that they can play. They can embed those videos. So they type the words and they can embed videos, audio, anything. And then right here, I see you, I am going to play. And so, just practicing different types of high frequency words and things like that they could do inside of the books. So you can create them or the students can create them, right? Or maybe some research that they've done on top of the world, underneath the ship. Maybe you went on a field trip or something, or you were studying something. You want to see what the kids remember, or have them do some sort of report. But instead of that, it's a book, right? Really cool. So now we're in middle school. You can see I think this is poetry right now.
Wow. Yeah. Very powerful.
Middle school, Captain Cook's Discovery. Yeah. So just more kind of research type of items.
Yeah, as we think about, the importance of our students, maybe summarizing something that they read, right, and putting it together in a book like this, pretty incredible.
Just the visuals, just fun to do. The respiratory system. That's super cute. And high school as well. Was the fight and passion that turned, red was the fight and passion that turned envy. Did I read that correctly?
You got it the second time, yeah.
So again, more research type of things. And, you would think like, oh, the kids won't find this fun. It's kind of boring. But you know what? It's not. Because we've watched the kids, even the older ones, just finding the right graphics, putting it in the right place. They're so into doing things like that. They're so good at, doing things like that. They post online all the time. So it's really fun to see their creativity come out in these books. Going.
Wow, look at that. And
And they even have videos probably of how they're doing it too. So that's a great way to show understanding. All right, so we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop there actually.
okay.
All right, so I think what time is it? Okay, so we have, we've gone about 15 minutes. So I think it's time we can go ahead and go into the actual demo of the product. So if you're following along with us, this is a great time to give it a try, and you can always rewatch our video again as well. So let me, Ricardo, you're going to show yours first, right? So that you could show the teacher dashboard.
Sure, let me go ahead and go there.
Sure.
Let me go ahead and open it. So let me share my screen again so we can see that, okay? So at the end of the show today, we'll talk about how our teachers at our district are going to access Book Creator. There's many different ways of accessing it through maybe you set it up with Google, maybe you set it up with a username and password. We have a very easy way of doing it. But whenever you log in, this is the teacher dashboard. This is what you see at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what's up here. So this will be my libraries. By default, I'm going to have something that is my books that I'm the only one that's going to be able to see it. If you wanted to create a sandbox, you can do that as I did, so I can share books with someone else. But up here, I also have the ability to discover, okay? And discover the amount of resources the Book Creator has is just incredible, okay? So for books that you can use as a teacher to teach, okay, the alphabet books, teacher collections, to student templates, the ability to take one of these books and be able to share it with your whole class or with 2 students or with 3 students, so they each get a copy and they can create. Let's say that we were doing at the beginning of the year, introducing themselves, right? I can come up here, find a template that is going to produce that for me. I can kind of just push it to every student. Each of them gets their own template and they get to work on their own copy. So the ability to do that here from the library. Also, the knowledge base, right? If you're a new teacher and you're trying to get yourself familiar with Book Creator, this will give you an idea of different resources that they put together for you. So it's pretty incredible to have there. If you were interested in getting certification, like Teresa has started to do, to become a Book Creator certified author, you can also do that. Pretty incredible right here. Some of our friends in here that we got to learn along. And finally, probably one of my favorite tools inside of Book Creator, the ability to use apps inside of the Book Creator. And just to give you an idea of what that is, okay? Here are the apps that you can actually allow your students and also yourself as a teacher to be able to use. Some of them are designed for students that are older, so that will be up to your whoever your admin is on how they deploy the apps. But notice that over here, I have the ability to use all of these apps. If you want to use Giphy or Bitmoji or Canva or Google Drive, whatever it is, right? So I have them turned on by default, but I just want to show you something. So if I went in here and I click plus, it would ask me if I want to enable this app. So if I want to say enable app, then it will say, do you want to enable it just for your sandbox or maybe for your classes that you have? So you have the ability to enable it just for you, enable it for the classes that you actually are teaching to, okay? So just to give an idea about that. So those are the apps, and there's just some amazing apps in here that you can use. And when Teresa goes and demo, you're going to see some of these apps actually being used, okay?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Let me scoot this over. Here we go. Do you see my screen?
I do.
All right, so I don't see you anymore, just so you know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move you to the side because, I hate that. Okay, just in case. Now, here we are. So the first time you log in, like Ricardo said, when you're doing it for the first time, you can create an account. You can just use your Google or anything simple, Microsoft, anything like that. Our district can do it even an easier way, which we're going to go over later. But you might come here and be like, okay, there's nothing here for me to see. But at the top left, when you click on the little 3 lines, I like to call it like hamburger. What do you call it, Ricardo?
The hamburger.
Have a name? Hamburger. Oh, there you go. We agree on something. When you click on that, it brings you to the library. And so for students, it looks a little bit different. Students don't have these different options up here. It just shows them directly where their libraries are. Okay, so here are my libraries. If I had a library shared with me, it is down here. You can create a new one If you want, you could create them, like I said, by period or maybe by subject or whatever. But I'm just going to go ahead and take you into this one that I started already before. So, oops, you know what? So here I am in here, and I can go through my books. I can click on any of them. From here, I can share them in any way. I can assign this book. I can publish it online. So the great thing also is that as a teacher, you would love to share these books with parents, because as a mom, I would love to see a book that my daughter had created. So you could publish it. You can also collaborate with other people. So in another library, I'm working with Ricardo on some different books together, so we can collaborate. I could download it as an ebook. That's pretty cool. And I could also print it if I wanted to. So it could be like a real book, right?
You know, Teresa, before you move from there, that's
Yeah.
a big update that they just did, the ability
Mhm.
to actually assign a book. In the past, students will have to manually copy a teacher's book to start working on their own. But if you were to just kind of go in there and go to assign book, and you can click on it just for a second so we can see it, notice that it lets you start assigning. So you can do it to everyone in the library, all of your students, or you can assign to just a group of students, or, you know, or maybe just one student. So the ability to assign, it's a brand new feature.
And you can see right here, this is teacher's work insert. It says the following students will receive an editable copy of this book when they visit the library. So not everyone is in at the same time. They're all getting their own copies. So like Ricardo said, maybe in the beginning of the year, getting to know you, or maybe, you know, you're studying something maybe like the solar system or whatever, and you have a certain template you want them to use, then they can all follow the template. And that's just a great way to get them started with Book Creator. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. So thank you for showing that, Ricardo. And so down here, right here, I can also import book, I can move this to a different library. And I did that earlier too, because I needed to. I was working on something and I was like, okay, you know what? I actually want to show this to another library. So you can move your library right here. I can copy the book. So if I want another version, I want to be able to change a few things, but I don't want to lose my original. You can do that. You can combine books too, and you can also delete. Okay, so lots of different options. But that's if you already have a book. So we're going to go ahead and create a new book. And you guessed it, up here. I'm going to click Create Book. So you have different options here. So you have your plain ones up here, and you also have your comic style down here. Ricardo and I were having this discussion. It's great to start with the blank ones, but when I started getting into it, I actually loved the comic ones because I could make them blank if I want, but I also had the option of adding comic things as well. So as you get to try all the different kinds, and you'll see what you prefer. You also have templates up here, which is cool. When you click on that, you can actually use these templates already. And so you don't have to do all the little elements by yourself. You can just use those. Those are fun to start with. So I'm just going to start with a blank one. And I think the most popular one for me is landscape, because this is kind of the size of my screen. So when my viewers look at it, that's the size that they're probably going to use when they use their laptops or whatever. So I'm just going to, you know what, I'm going to click on the comic one. Is that okay, Ricardo?
Sure.
I'm just going to click on that just so you can take a look. So it starts off as blank. So here I am in my cover. And we always tell kids, get really creative with your cover. You really want to catch their attention so they want to read your book. But like Ricardo, he knows me. I like to do my content first and do the cover after, because I never know how my content is going to change. But here we are. So it tells you up here, you're on the cover. The arrows are on the left and right, and it helps you go to the different pages. It starts with 3 pages by default. And if you want to add more, you simply get to the third one, and then you click on the plus button. So you would add more that way. Okay, if you want to see all your other pages and you want to be able to delete them or things like that, you would go up here to pages on the top left. And then from here, you can actually delete the pages. You can copy them. Like maybe you had one and you like the background already and you don't want to redo it. You can copy them, and you can also move them around if you want to. And if you go back, you just go right back to it. So here I am on the cover. I'll just go ahead and start here. The tools that your students are going to use most up here, I like to start with the eye. So right here, I can choose different backgrounds. So I can choose anything from here. There's lots of different ones. I can choose just simple colors if I want. Different patterns. I kind of like that. A lot of the students use are little different textures. Something kind of like that. So you can do that anytime. If you have a picture or something and you click on that, then you click on the eye, you'll have other options too. And I'm going to show that to you in a moment. So here I'm going to go back to the plus sign, because this is where we're going to spend most of our time. So you can do images, pictures, camera. You can actually draw. You can type things in, and you can also record voice. And if you chose the comic option, you have these options down here too. And so if you didn't choose the comic one, this wouldn't appear, just so you know. So we'll go ahead and start with images first. So I'm just going to click on images, and you can search for images here, and it will search in Google. And so I don't know, what am I writing a book about right now, Ricardo? I think I'm going to write about winter.
I thought you were going to say about food.
Oh man, he knows my favorite subject, but I already did that one. Okay, so I'm gonna choose a picture on winter. Oh, I love this picture. Simply click on that and add. And oh, I was about to say sometimes it takes a while, and then it did it super fast. And so from here, you can click on the picture. Your kids already kind of know how to edit things because they're used to doing this on social media. But if you click on the picture and you go back up to the eye, now you actually have other options for just the picture. Okay, so you can actually change the layering if you want. You can lock it, you can crop it, and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. This is my title, so I'm just going to kind of put that in the middle. And then, of course, since it's my title, I'm going to want to add some text. So you can use camera too, but I don't need to because I already used my picture. So I'm just going to click on text, and you can choose different styles if you want. I'm just going to choose regular text. I'm just going to say winter. I was about to say winter is coming. What show is that from? Don't say it. Okay. Winter. And winter is my favorite.
I wanted to add that you also have the ability to use the microphone, right? For the little ones that might not be able to type yet or to write, they could click on the microphone and just, do it that way.
That's great. And I was about to try it, but I'm using my mic for the show. But yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for mentioning that, Ricardo. So you have your normal rich text over here, editor, or you can just be done. And then from there, you can click on it again and you can change it. So I can, there's so many things I could do here, but I'm going to just, done. Make it a little bit bigger. It keeps bringing me to it again. So if you do your different color, we're not going to spend a lot of time here, but you have lots of different options in here. So I'm just going to be done with that right now. Winter's my favorite season. I would probably make it a lot bigger if I had more time. What's another thing you want me to make sure to show?
I did want you to mention the camera because you have two options with the camera. Let's say that maybe you were in a science class and you're outside taking a picture of something, a plant or something, right? Being able to click on that camera and just taking your device and taking a picture and automatically inserting that in there is pretty big. Or maybe you wanted to record yourself, doing a short summary or explaining. The camera is a big tool there. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, I will show it then, but I'm not going to show it on the cover because I wouldn't put that on the cover. But I was like, how did I get there? So when I click on this, remember how I said with the eye, whatever you click it on, it actually, you can adapt whatever it is you're highlighting. So with the picture, we showed that earlier. But in my text, there's a reason why I said don't worry about it right now. It's because when you click on the text, you can go to the eye and you can edit from here. So that's what I was looking for earlier. It might have kind of looked like I was like, what's going on? And here you are. So you could do the different things. So that looks better to me, I think. And also I would, of course, remind students, please, you're an author. Please make sure you put on here who it is by so that we know we can give you credit for that. Okay, so I guess since Ricardo said, we're going to go ahead and go on to our next inside page. And from in here, we could do the camera, and I'm going to cross my fingers that it actually works since I'm using it for the show. So let's see what happens. We're going rogue right now. We always tell students to allow. Oh, it's getting one of them. It's getting, now you see my mess.
Yeah.
And you see my mom up there. All right, so I could take a picture. I could also record video. What do you want me to demonstrate, Ricardo? Do you want me to take a picture or record video? What do you want?
Whatever you want to do. I just think it has purpose, right? Both of them could be very useful as the students are creating this. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I'm not actually going to do it, but why not? Take a picture. Which camera am I using? This one. And I could actually delete it or use the picture, and I'm going to say use it. Which has nothing to do with winter, by the way, but it's okay. We had to demonstrate it. There she is, looking great.
I think you should do the video too, just to show how it looks when students will use it.
Now you're just making fun of me. I'm not going to do
Oh.
it. They're going to get how it works. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I really want to delete that picture. It's okay. So I can go down here. I was going to ask you to show the pen, Ricardo, but I can try to show it. You're going to have to talk me through it because I always mess it up. So here's the pen. You can also do, so there are different tools here, and I love all these different ones, but Ricardo, tell me which one you want me to show.
I love the AI pen. It's pretty incredible.
Is it this one right here?
And you probably love the magic one, the one before that. But yeah, I love the last one.
So this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try it. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to draw something. Let's see. Cross your fingers, you guys. I'm not the best artist, but... So as I'm drawing, you can see at the very top of the screen, it's guessing what I'm drawing. Wow, not even close. So I can click on any of these things instead. So I think I picked a really challenging one. Let me try a star. Let me see if it gets it. I'm really not good at this, Mr. Racinos. When you demoed it so much better. Now I'm determined. Now we can't go on till it figures it out.
What happened? Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It's not guessing any of mine.
It's funny because I did mine and automatically guessed the star.
I told you. Thank you for sharing your screen. So I
had to. So not like that. It actually decided to go with a star right there, right? I'll do one more. I tried doing the sun last time and see if it works. It was a funny sun when I did it last time. And I don't know if it's going to work this time. There it is. Look. So now it actually even... It's gonna be elementary drawing like my drawing, Teresa. But it actually did do it. So there it is. So the ability to use, I think it's using that tool that we used with Google before, where it recognizes what you're drawing and it kind of uses AI to decide what you are drawing. But I went 2 for 2 with mine. I'll go back to your screen.
I'm sorry, I'm giggling so much because this is the exact same thing that happened when we trained on this the other day. He was able to do it, and for me, it could not recognize anything I was doing for the life of me. I'm like, I'm doing my best. Anyways, we saw students doing it, and it all worked for them too. I don't know what's going on with my drawing, but I'll work on it. All right, so that's an amazing tool. So if you didn't know that was there, we've seen a lot of our students put in characters and draw actual people like stick figures, but it looked like professionally done. And so I was so impressed. All right, so let me continue on.
I think you have to show. I think you also have to show the third pen because that's all okay. Definitely.
So 1, 2, 3. This one, the crayon.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you sure you don't want to demonstrate this because you're just testing my drawing abilities at this point? Ooh.
And now click on the color on top, and that's why I'm saying you should try it.
Ooh, look at this. Oh wait. Now it's gonna be that color. Ooh, gold. I don't even know what I'm drawing right now. I'm so distracted. I love gold. Ooh. Okay, this show's going to be really long. Okay. So of course you can continue and you can erase. You can fill it. Oh.
You could fill it in with the color. Yeah, look at that. Oh. We're having too much fun.
We're going to spend forever here. You can do your emojis too. I'm going to click done. This is how we were when we were trying to teach this class, and we were all giggling, and the teenagers were like, "Oh my goodness!" All right, so we did the pen. I showed you text already. Record is really simple too. You just simply click on it. I keep seeing my face. You start recording. 3, 2, 1. This is a page, and I have a picture on the top left saying hi to everybody. Stop recording, and they can listen to it, they can delete it, they can use it. I'm just going to say use it, and here it is right here. And so they can drag this icon wherever they want. We usually tell kids to put it in the same space, same place, so that readers know that it's there. But sometimes it works with their designs, so they can put it anywhere they want to.
Yeah, and as we saw at the Spanish class with Miss Orta, I was talking about, the ability to use this tool to practice the language. Right now, they're speaking in Spanish. It's just huge. You love that.
And so just to also show you these, for here, the comic ones, the other, if you do the plain one, it's not here, but you can click on this and you can go to different types of templates, which is really cool. And when you bring pictures in, it fits it automatically into these places, which I love. And I don't have to worry about cropping and things like that because it fits automatically. You also have your little bubbles here, just kind of look like comic type. So many. Boom. So random. It doesn't have anything to do with winter. I chose the wrong topic. All right. So anyways, you can peruse your way through all of those things. For images, you can also upload your own images. You don't have to do the search. If for some reason, because sometimes when you do the search through their browser, not a lot of pictures will show up. But of course, you'll get more pictures if you just go to your regular Google search here. So I can go to images. You'll get a lot more. And the copy and paste feature doesn't work. But what I can do is it works like 90% of the time. Let's cross your fingers that I actually find one. So I click on it. So this is a little bit bigger. And I simply click on it and I drag it to the tab where I was in. And then here, then I drop it.
That is pretty cool.
And cha-chow. And there it is. And then from here, I could drop it into the different shapes. But that's a little secret that you could do because the copy and paste doesn't work. Okay, and then you could actually fit it in here if you want. But let's continue. And all right, so let's move on.
Teresa, I wanted to touch on the text as we talk about dual immersion classes, the ability to add accent marks and all of those symbols that you might want to add. That's big in there too. So I wanted to make sure that we kind of mention that.
So go ahead and because the way I know how to do it is bring in a copy of it. So can you show them how to do it directly in here?
Yeah. So if I was just in here and I went to text, right? And notice I have caption, title, boom, text, whatever. I'm just going to go to text right now because that's what I'm using. But down here, you have the ability to just click it. And notice you have all of the different characters. Like, for Spanish, this will be huge for dual immersion or for Spanish class to be able to have all the tildes in there and all of the different symbols that you might need. I also saw all of the math symbols in here, which was kind of interesting to see. So that's in there too. So pretty incredible.
And that's also a newer feature because back then, you'd have to do it in Google or somewhere else, and then you'd have to copy that into it for those accents to show. So very cool that you could just do it straight inside. Okay, so I'm going to move on now, if you don't mind, Ricardo. So, of course, we have shapes here too, so students can bring in any of those things and move them around. I mean, we were showing kids step by step, and eventually they're like, just set us free and let us figure it out, because it's so intuitive, it's so easy to use, and that's exactly what we did. We just took a step back, and they were able to go through all of these, but we're just going to continue to show you anyways. So here in more, go ahead.
I was going to say shapes. Just throw a couple of shapes in there, Teresa. A couple, 3 or 4. I actually love this feature. Yeah. And then notice, throw one more in there if you can. Yeah.
I'm going to throw, I know, but it closes it every time.
Yeah. And what I love is that, notice that right now, if you were to kind of highlight all of them with your mouse and kind of hold your mouse and grab them, you can move them all together if you wanted to. So now they become a group. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Just little things. So kids, they feel like they know everything, which they do a lot of the time. But these little tidbits that kind of make things faster instead of bringing things down every single time. And that's just another great tip to show students. I love it. Thank you. All right. So lots of things, arrows and everything. You can also search for things if you want to. But the one that I really wanted to get to was this more. And so Ricardo showed you earlier different apps from the teacher dashboard. So when the students go in, they don't see those choices in the front, but whatever apps you chose for the students to see for their library, they will have it available here. So maybe I'm just going to go to another page, just a clean page. And here I am. Maybe I want graphic organizers. I can go in here and maybe I'm doing a Venn diagram, or here, a word web. I'm just going to add this to the book. Look how easy that was. And I can actually click in here and actually type. So maybe I'm doing a book about me, and I could type in here and just type directly into it, which is really cool. Okay, let me see. I'm going to show another one too. So we have Giphy here. So if you want different GIFs, the embed is really big too. So if you actually want to put in a video, so let's say I want this one. I'm going to pause it. To load. Okay, so I can go to share, and on YouTube you can also get the embed code. So I can copy that, and I can go back, and then I can get embed right here, and I just paste it right there.
And I love, before you do it, oh, you did it already. That's okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that as I was reading, you can embed a web page, a Google form. So if you have that template and you want to check for understanding, have a little form and there were a couple of questions. And also flip from Flipgrid, as we talk about app smashing, they can actually bring that in there too.
Awesome. Let me show you the steps again so that, because Ricardo just brought up so many more things. That is amazing. So you would go to more, embed, and then you simply just paste it in there. And then when you're ready, you confirm. And I'm just going to add it. And there it is. And the video is directly in your book. Pretty cool. All right, let me see. Am I missing anything? You can add apps too, but you have the ability, but your students won't be able to add apps outside of what you've allowed them to use. You can actually add files as well. Is there anything else here?
Imagine adding a PDF. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, actually, I gotta share this one because I know when the pandemic happened, we all went crazy with Bitmojis, right? All creating our Bitmoji. So can you imagine now, as a teacher, as I'm creating this for my students, and I go to apps, and I actually have allowed, I think, more apps than Teresa had, but in here I have the Bitmoji. So notice what's going to happen. Look. Check this out. So hopefully it loads it up. So there it is. And now I'm going to be the character in my story. So now if I was to just click it in there, guess who is going to be in there?
Intense.
He does look like me, doesn't he?
Yes.
So as you think about it, right? I mean, it's just pretty incredible, right? Animated emojis. I think Teresa has those in there. Anything from your Google Drive you can bring in here. There's some that we haven't added because obviously some of them need permissions, right? But a Giphy in here, right? Bitmojis and so on and so on. So it's pretty incredible to have those tools.
And we always tell teachers as well as admin who are in charge of this, just, as you add ability for students to use apps, just make sure that it is within their age range, because there's some legalities that you have to check on. Some of them are 13 and above, some of them are 16 and above, some of them are with permission. It's fine, so just make sure you're covering yourself and checking those. It's all in there for you to know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm back here. And and then if you want to see what it looks like, you can actually click the play. And then you can go back and forth and see what it looks like as a book.
So amazing.
Such a random book, but it looks so good.
No, I love it.
You can also have it read to me if you want to. But yeah, just different options here. You can go back to see it like that. You can go back. If you want to do more things, you can go into your library and actually, here it is. And again, we showed you the different features down here at the bottom. Is there anything I was missing? I think we went through the basics. Right?
No, I think you're good. I think the only thing that I would want to mention is notice that Teresa has created this library, right? This might be for her class that she's teaching. Right on top, she actually has a code that she can give to students up there. So if she clicks on it, she will basically show that code to the kids, and what the kids will do. So if I was a student in her class and she was projecting that code, I would be in my class and the students will have the ability to just basically say, join a library, and they will take that code and put it in there and say, join library, and then will become part of her class by doing that. And that's the way you will basically do that.
Or you can also copy the link too. So let's say you have an LMS or something, you just want to throw it in there, you could do that as well. But you only have to do it once, because once they're in your library, they're already in. And so once you do that, just also so that you know, once they join, you can go up here and let's say I asked Ricardo to join, or maybe another teacher, and I wanted him to also be a teacher in here. Mm-hmm. He'd have to join first as a member. And then once he's down here, then I can add him to be a co-teacher as well. So that's just something great if you're, co-teaching with someone else, or maybe common subjects or the same grade level. It's great to be able to share things too. Maybe you have a template library or something like that.
Yep.
Anything else? I think we covered pretty much the basics of everything.
Yeah, I think we did. And I know we promised that we were going to show you a couple of things, so I wanted to share this. This is our Spanish teacher had an assignment. They were talking about the pretérito, or the preterite, and the imperfect tense, both ways of expressing your stuff in the past tense. And so the students had to use those tenses in Spanish. And I just love, the kids fell in love with this tool. They just flew with it. They did such an amazing job with them. I'm just gonna randomly pick one in here, and we can kind of look at it, because I thought it was such a well done assignment by our students. Okay, they have a preference, Teresa, on what I pick. It doesn't matter, right?
No.
Yeah, this one right here. So notice, I learned this from Teresa and Miss Ort. Create your whole book and then come back and do the title page. But I just want you to see what the students did. I mean, look at this right here. The time that they took, they narrated the story. If I click on the play over here, I mean, just so amazing to see what the kids did.
That's amazing. Look at how much creativity this takes. Really coming up with the script, making sure the pictures go with it, and and then practicing your speaking while actually recording yourself do it. So
Yeah, so just pretty incredible. I was looking at her work. This is her other period. I'll show something a little bit different instead of a comic book, but this is what she created. And if I go and play it, hopefully you can hear it. Oh, you know what? It's going to be in Spanish, so it won't play it correctly. But look at this right here. I mean, it's just so well done by our students as I look at them. I mean, look at that,
oh my goodness.
right? It's such a good job. Yeah.
And they did that in like a period, maybe a period and a half. All right. So hopefully we gave you enough tools to get started on using Book Creator. It is an amazing tool. Go ahead and try it and let us know how it goes. If you need any support, we are here for you. And so we will see you again probably after the break.
After the break, happy
Have
holidays.
a great holiday, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.